This is my journey.
Glad to see you again. We've really covered a lot of ground on this loneliness thing, haven't we? And since you can't really fill me in on what you've discovered so far, let me give you some principles you can apply to your own unique reasons for loneliness. First of all, you should know that our relationships are frequently an indicator of how we feel about ourselves. If the key reason for your loneliness is that you don't really feel, good enough for other people, you may find yourself gravitating towards someone that feels kind of the same way about themselves. At first, that kind of friendship might feel good because, well, we get each other, But friendships that form around a shared weakness can be a bit risky. It's almost always better to seek relationships that can flow out of your strengths. Those good parts of you that you might have in common with someone else. So, think for a minute about your strengths. We all have them, so don't tell me that you don't. What are you good at? What kind of dreams are in your heart? What kind of things do you have to offer someone? Like a sense of humor or a compassionate heart? Those things that people would really like if they just take the time to get to know you. You see, a lot of us get trapped in loneliness because when we think about ourselves, we only see our brokenness. We see a failed marriage or those hurtful words that somebody dumped on us before they dumped us. We have those ugly adjectives they stuck on us like boring or selfish or ugly or whatever. Unfortunately, a lot of us live with that list in clear view, and we think we're going to have to fix those things before anyone could possibly ever like us. But I got to tell you that fixing that list may not be easy, mainly because a lot of what's on the list isn't really true. And even if some of it is, fixing it isn't something you can easily do alone. So let's set that list aside, maybe even burn it. And let's look at your strengths more closely. Don't tell me there aren't any. You're just looking at the wrong list. Now, once we've identified a few things on this better list, we can give some thought to the second step away from our lonely place. That step is to start acting like we want friends. I know that sounds kind of weird, but a lot of lonely people act like they're living in some isolated chamber that someone else must care enough to come unlock. I got to tell you that those kind of chambers only lock from the inside. If you want friends, it's time to move from defense to offense. So let's get ready to take part of that list of your strengths and take it out there where someone else could find it and appreciate it. I don't mean to make light of this, but I've watched people for a lot of years, and I've often seen people who want and need relationships work really hard to avoid any chance of them. Maybe the past hurt is piled so high they just can't risk anymore. A little later, I'm going to tell you a way to deal with that hurt, but for right now, let's just make a decision. Let's decide to put ourselves out there and see what happens, okay? Now, our third step is to decide where we do this. So let's look at those strengths again. Where do you think those strengths might be most appreciated? One place might be where those strengths are needed. For example, if compassion is your strength, why not volunteer at a hospital or find some other valuable outlet for that compassion? Maybe you're really good at math, so why not stop in at a nearby school and offer yourself as a tutor? If what you're good at can meet a need, it could be the door out of your lonely place. Of course, the other place to reach out might be somewhere where your strengths find a friend. Where do people who share your same strengths hang out? Maybe there's a group just waiting for you to join into their fun. Some people make the mistake of looking for friends in places where their weaknesses are the focus. But building relationships on shared weak spots probably won't lead anywhere good. What if you start conquering your weaknesses? Then the basis of those relationships goes away. The point is, to conquer loneliness, you're going to have to get out there and risk a little. So it makes sense to lead with your strengths. Next time we'll talk about what might be holding you back. I'll see you then.